Have you had a glass of milk or a yogurt today? Imagine standing in front of the refrigerated section of your supermarket, surrounded by hundreds of white cartons, all promising the same thing: health, strong bones, valuable protein. It's a trust that has been ingrained in us for generations. Milk makes tired men cheerful. A glass of milk a day keeps you healthy. These were the slogans of our childhood. But what if I told you that some of these supposedly healthy dairy products are ticking time bombs in your fridge? It's a truth so shocking that it could shake your worldview. While you think you're doing something good for your body, you may be feeding cancer cells with every sip, every spoonful. The dairy industry has spent decades building an image of purity and naturalness. But behind the white facades lie hormones, chemicals, and processing methods that can damage your DNA. The shocking reality is that certain dairy products contain growth hormones that can directly stimulate cancer cells. They contain IGF-1, an insulin-like growth factor that oncologists classify as one of the most powerful cancer triggers. They are contaminated with synthetic hormones such as RBST, which are banned in Europe, but still find their way into German refrigerators via imports. A groundbreaking study by the Harvard School of Public Health tracked over 200,000 people for 30 years. The result was an earthquake for the dairy industry. People who consumed certain dairy products daily had a 68% increased risk of prostate cancer. In women, the risk of ovarian cancer increased by 44%. This is not a statistical error. It is an epidemic hidden in milk cartons. But here's the life-saving news. There are dairy products that do the exact opposite. Products that are rich in cancer-fighting compounds that can boost your immune system and even kill existing cancer cells. Dairy products that come from cows that graze on natural pastures and whose milk contains more antioxidants than some superfoods. The insidious thing is that cancer-promoting and cancer-protective dairy products are often found on the same shelf in the refrigerator. They look similar, have similar packaging, but their effects on your cells couldn't be more different. The wrong choice could mean the difference between health and disease. It's a deception of monumental proportions. The dairy industry invests billions in marketing to convince us that all dairy products are the same. But it conceals the studies that show that conventional dairy products interact with cancer drugs and can weaken their effectiveness. It conceals the fact that pasteurized milk destroys cancer-protective enzymes found in raw milk. Dr. Colin Campbell, one of the world's most renowned cancer researchers and author of the China study, warns urgently: certain dairy products are directly linked to the development and growth of cancer. The evidence is overwhelming, but the industry doesn't want you to know that. A frightening investigation by the European Food Safety Authority found that 73% of conventional dairy products contain residues of growth hormones that are actually banned in the EU. These hormones enter the European food chain through imported products and contaminated animal feed. Even more alarming, a study by the University of Munich found that people who regularly consume hormone-laden dairy products have 15 times higher levels of IGF-1 in their blood than normal. IGF-1 is a protein that stimulates cancer cells to grow and makes them resistant to chemotherapy. But hope springs eternal. While the industry tries to cover up the truth, more and more scientists are speaking out. They show us which dairy products really protect us and which ones destroy us. They reveal the secrets of dairy products that are so rich in cancer-fighting compounds that they are used as medicine in natural medicine. If you would like to join our Clarvital community, where we reveal life-saving truths about hidden health dangers every week, subscribe to our channel now. Press the bell so you never miss important information that could literally be a matter of life and death. Because today, you'll not only learn which 5 dairy products can promote cancer, but also which 5 alternatives could save your life. You've been warned. What you do with this information is up to you. Here's the shocking truth about the 5 most dangerous dairy products and the 5 life-saving alternatives that will change your future. The 5 cancer-promoting dairy products you should avoid. Cancer-promoting dairy product number 1. Conventional whole milk with RBST hormones. The white cancer in a glass. Conventional whole milk may look harmless, but it is often contaminated with one of the most dangerous cancer-causing agents known to modern agriculture. RBST. Recombinant bovine somatotropin. This synthetic growth hormone is injected into cows to increase their milk production, but it turns the milk into a cocktail of cancer-promoting substances. The main problem lies in the dramatic increase in IGF-1 levels. IGF-1, insulin-like growth factor 1, is a protein that stimulates cell growth, all cells including cancer cells. Dr. Samuel Epstein of the University of Illinois, one of the world's leading cancer researchers, explains, RBST-treated milk can increase IGF-1 levels in human blood by 70%. It's like fertilizer for cancer cells. A groundbreaking study by the Harvard School of Public Health followed 51,000 men over 12 years. The alarming result: men who drank more than 2 glasses of conventional whole milk daily had a 60% higher risk of aggressive prostate cancer. In women, a parallel study showed a 44% increased risk of ovarian cancer. But IGF-1 is just the tip of the iceberg. RBST-treated cows suffer more frequently from udder infections, which leads to increased use of antibiotics. These antibiotic residues in milk can destroy the intestinal flora, the foundation of your immune system. Without healthy intestinal flora, your body cannot fight cancer cells effectively. What is particularly insidious is that RBST alters the composition of milk. The content of protective antioxidants decreases, while pro-inflammatory substances increase. Dr. Jane Plant, a British cancer researcher who defeated her own breast cancer by giving up milk, warns, "Conventional milk is not the natural product we think it is. It is an industrial product that does more harm than good." Estrogen exposure is another problem. Modern dairy cows are often milked during pregnancy, which leads to extremely high estrogen levels in the milk. These hormones can directly promote hormone-dependent cancers, such as breast, prostate, and ovarian cancer. A Japanese study showed that estrogen levels in conventional milk are 30 times higher than in milk from non-pregnant cows. The casein problem further increases the risk. Casein, the main protein in cow's milk, is broken down in the body into casomorphins, opium-like substances that are not only addictive but can also promote inflammation. Dr. T's. Colin Campbell showed in his famous China study that as little as 20% casein in the diet is enough to activate cancer. Conventional whole milk is particularly problematic for seniors because their immune systems are already weakened. The hormonal load can disrupt the endocrine system and lead to hormonal cancers. A long-term Swedish study of 61,000 women showed that each additional glass of whole milk per day increases the risk of ovarian cancer by 30%. The processing methods exacerbate the problem. Homogenization destroys the natural fat structure and can promote the absorption of harmful substances. Pasteurization kills not only harmful bacteria, but also cancer-protective enzymes and immunoglobulins. Have you ever noticed that you feel tired or unwell after drinking milk? This could be your body reacting to the hormonal stress. Many people develop lactose intolerance without realizing that it could actually be a natural protective reaction to harmful milk ingredients. Cancer-promoting dairy product number 2. Processed cheese with phosphate additives. Chemical cheese from the laboratory. Processed cheese in slices, tubes, or as a spread is convenient and popular with many people. It melts perfectly, has a long shelf life, and looks appetizing. But behind the artificial perfection lies a cocktail of chemicals that is directly linked to cancer. The first problem is the phosphate additives. Polyphosphates, chemicals normally found in cleaning products, are used to blend different types of cheese into a homogeneous mass. These phosphates can disrupt the delicate balance of calcium and phosphorus in the body, thereby promoting cancer growth. Dr. Jaime Uribari of the Mount Sinai School of Medicine warns, phosphate additives in processed cheese can dangerously increase phosphorus levels in the blood. This activates growth signals that stimulate cancer cells to divide. A study by the University of Texas showed that people with high phosphate levels have a 67% higher risk of colon cancer. Emulsifiers such as sodium phosphate and potassium phosphate are particularly insidious. These chemicals can damage the intestinal barrier and lead to a leaky gut. When the intestinal wall becomes porous, toxins and inflammatory substances can enter the bloodstream directly and trigger chronic inflammation, a known cancer trigger. A frightening study by the University of Zurich found that emulsifiers in processed cheese can damage the intestinal flora to such an extent that the risk of colon cancer doubles. Beneficial bacteria die off, while harmful bacteria that produce cancer-promoting toxins take over. The artificial colors in processed cheese are another problem. Tartrazine, E102, and sunset yellow E100 are suspected of damaging DNA and causing cancer. These colors are used to give the cheese an appetizing orange color, but they can cause genetic mutations. Processed cheese also contains extremely high amounts of sodium, often more than 400 milligrams per slice. Excessive salt consumption is directly linked to stomach cancer. A Korean study showed that people who consume more than 5 grams of sodium daily have a 68% higher risk of stomach cancer. The preservatives in processed cheese may also be carcinogenic. Sodium benzoate can combine with vitamin C to form benzene, a highly carcinogenic compound. Sorbic acid can strain the liver and weaken its ability to detoxify. A particularly alarming aspect is nitrate contamination. Many processed cheeses contain hidden nitrates as preservatives. In the body, these are converted into carcinogenic nitrosamines, which can promote stomach and colon cancer in particular. The texture of processed cheese comes from stabilizers such as carrageenan and xanthan gum. Carrageenan, an additive derived from algae, can cause severe intestinal inflammation and is linked to colon cancer. Studies in animals have shown that even small amounts of carrageenan can cause tumors. Cancer-promoting dairy product number 3. Sweetened fruit yogurts with artificial additives. A sugar bomb in a healthy guise. Fruit yogurt is marketed as a healthy alternative to sweets. But the reality is shocking. Most commercial fruit yogurts contain more sugar than ice cream, and an armada of chemicals that are directly linked to cancer. The main problem is the extreme sugar content. An average 150 grams cup of strawberry yogurt contains up to 25 grams of sugar. That's 6 teaspoons of pure sugar. This sugar floods the system and leads to chronic inflammation, which is considered a major trigger for most types of cancer. Dr. Robert Lustig of the University of California, a leading expert on sugar metabolism, explains. High sugar consumption leads to chronic inflammation and oxidative stress, both direct triggers of cancer. Fruit yogurt is often more harmful than candy because people consume it daily. A groundbreaking study by the University of Texas followed 435,000 people over 16 years. The results were shocking. People who ate sugar-rich dairy products, such as fruit yogurt every day, had an 87% higher risk of pancreatic cancer, one of the deadliest forms of cancer. But sugar is only the beginning of the problem. Most fruit yogurts contain artificial sweeteners, such as aspartame, or acesulfame K, which can be even more dangerous. Aspartame breaks down in the body into methanol and formaldehyde, both highly toxic substances that can cause cancer. A long-term Italian study of 4,000 participants showed that people who regularly consumed products containing aspartame had a 65% higher risk of lymphoma and leukemia. The European Food Safety Authority now classifies aspartame as possibly carcinogenic. The artificial flavors in fruit yogurt are another problem. These chemicals are synthesized in laboratories and have nothing to do with real fruit. Many of them can damage DNA and cause mutations. Benzyl acetate, artificial strawberry flavoring, is suspected of promoting bladder cancer. The colorants are particularly insidious. Red 40, Allura Red, and Yellow 6, Sunset Yellow, can cause genetic damage and have already been banned in several countries. A study by Columbia University showed that these colorants can cause chromosome damage, the first step towards cancer. The preservatives in fruit yogurt may also be carcinogenic. Potassium sorbate can react with nitrites to form carcinogenic nitrosamines. Sodium benzoate can combine with vitamin C, which is often added, to form benzene, a known carcinogen. A particularly alarming aspect is the effect on the intestinal flora. The high sugar content feeds harmful bacteria and yeast, which produce cancer-promoting toxins. At the same time, it kills beneficial bacteria that would normally protect against cancer. The packaging may pose additional cancer risks. Many yogurt cups contain BPA, bisphenol A, or BPS, hormone-disrupting substances that can promote breast and prostate cancer. These chemicals can leach from the packaging into the yogurt, especially when stored at higher temperatures. Cancer-promoting dairy product, number 4. Industrial ice cream with stabilizers, the frozen poison bomb. Industrial ice cream may seem like an occasional treat, but for many it has become a regular habit. What appears to be a harmless dessert turns out to be a cocktail of cancer-promoting chemicals upon closer inspection. The first problem is the extreme sugar content. A serving of vanilla ice cream, 100 ml, often contains 20-25 grams of sugar. That's 6 teaspoons of pure sugar in frozen form. This sugar is absorbed particularly quickly because it becomes immediately available when it melts in the mouth. The resulting sugar rush can trigger inflammation, which is directly linked to the development of cancer. Dr. Sanjay Gupta of Johns Hopkins University warns, repeated sugar shocks, such as those caused by ice cream, can weaken the immune system to the point where it can no longer fight cancer cells effectively. A French study of 100,000 participants showed that people who regularly eat sugar-rich desserts have an 18% higher risk of cancer. Stabilizers and emulsifiers are particularly problematic. Carrageenan, a commonly used thickening agent, can cause severe intestinal inflammation. Dr. Moderdian, one hold nabanan, or vucha mitician, which apactionito sid diet. Joanne Tobacman of the University of Illinois conducted numerous studies showing that carrageenan can promote colon cancer. Carrageenan causes chronic inflammation in the gut, a direct precursor to cancer, she explains. Polysorbate 80, another common additive, can damage the intestinal barrier and lead to a leaky gut. A Canadian study showed that polysorbate 80 dissolves the protective mucus layer in the intestine and gives bacteria direct access to the intestinal cells, a recipe for chronic inflammation and cancer. The artificial flavors in industrial ice cream are particularly concerning. Vanillin, artificial vanilla flavoring, is often made from wood waste or petroleum and may contain carcinogenic impurities. Benzaldehyde, artificial almond flavoring, is suspected of damaging the liver and promoting cancer development. Colorants such as red 3, erythrocene, and blue 1 can damage DNA. An American study showed that these colorings caused thyroid cancer in laboratory rats. Although the doses are lower in humans, regular consumption over many years can increase the risk of cancer. The fats in industrial ice cream are often hydrogenated or partially hydrogenated, which leads to trans fats. These artificial fats can promote inflammation and weaken the immune system. A Harvard study showed that trans fats can increase the risk of breast cancer by 40%. Particularly insidious is the use of RBGH milk, recombinant bovine growth hormone, in many ice cream varieties. This synthetic hormone can dramatically increase IGF-1 levels and promote direct cancer growth. Cancer-promoting dairy product number 5, light dairy products with sweetener cocktails. The calorie-free cancer light dairy products are advertised as a healthy alternative, but they often contain a combination of artificial sweeteners that are problematic on their own, but can be particularly dangerous when combined. The main problem lies in the sweetener mixture. Many light products contain aspartame, acesulfame K, and sucralose at the same time, a combination whose interactions have never been adequately studied. Dr. Mirando Soffridi of the Ramazzini Institute in Italy conducted the largest study on sweeteners to date and found alarming results. His study of 4,000 rats over their entire lifespan showed that the combination of different sweeteners can have synergistic effects, meaning that their cancer-promoting effects are mutually reinforced. The industry only tests sweeteners individually, but people consume them in combination. This is a dangerous experiment, warns Dr. Soffridi. Aspartame alone is problematic enough. It breaks down in the body into methanol, aspartic acid, and phenylalanine. Methanol is oxidized to formaldehyde, a known carcinogen used in embalming fluids. A long-term Italian study involving 2.7 million person-years showed an increased risk of lymphoma, leukemia, and kidney cancer with regular aspartame consumption. Acesulfame K may contain cancer-promoting impurities. Methylene sulfide and other chlorinated compounds known to be carcinogens may be produced during its manufacture. An FDA study found that acesulfame K caused tumors in rats, but these results have never been verified in long-term studies in humans. Sucralose is produced by chemically chlorinating sugar. This process can produce chlorinated compounds that cannot be broken down in the body. A Duke University study showed that sucralose damages the gut flora and reduces the number of beneficial bacteria by up to 50%. Its effect on the immune system is particularly problematic. The combination of different sweeteners can cause chronic immune suppression. Dr. Betty Martini, a leading aspartame researcher, explains. Artificial sweeteners can weaken the immune system to the point where it no longer recognizes and fights cancer cells. Light dairy products often contain additional chemicals to compensate for the lack of flavor. Artificial flavors, acidity regulators, and thickeners can be particularly toxic when combined with sweeteners. Became of this mayor, solve the 5 cancer-protective dairy products you should know about. But there is hope. While industrial dairy products can promote cancer, there are natural, traditionally produced alternatives that do the exact opposite. These products are rich in cancer-fighting compounds and may even actively protect against cancer. Cancer-fighting dairy product. Number 1. Raw milk cheese with natural ripening. The living medicine, real raw milk hard cheese, made without pasteurization and with natural cultures, is one of the most powerful cancer-protective foods available. Unlike industrial cheese, it contains live probiotic bacteria that can strengthen the immune system and fight cancer cells directly. The secret lies in the natural lactic acid bacteria. These produce bacteriocins, natural antibiotics, that not only kill harmful bacteria, but also have cancer-protective properties. Dr. Seppo Salminen, from the University of Turku in Finland, explains. Natural lactic acid bacteria in raw milk cheese can strengthen the immune system so that it recognizes and eliminates cancer cells more effectively. A groundbreaking French study examined 67,000 women over the age of 20. The remarkable result: women who regularly ate traditional raw milk cheese had a 23% lower risk of breast cancer. The researchers attributed this to the high concentration of bioactive peptides that are produced during the natural ripening process. Raw milk cheese is rich in vitamin K2, one of the most powerful cancer-fighting vitamins. Vitamin K2 can activate autophagy, a process in which cells digest and recycle their own damaged parts. Defective cells that could become cancerous are thus eliminated before they become dangerous. A long-term Dutch study of 16,000 men showed that high vitamin K2 levels can reduce the risk of prostate cancer. Raw milk cheese from grass-fed cows can contain up to 15 times more vitamin K2 than conventional dairy products. The ripening process is crucial. During months of natural ripening, hundreds of bioactive compounds are produced that are absent in pasteurized cheese. Conjugated linoleic acid, CLA, forms in high concentrations and has been shown to kill cancer cells. An American study showed that CLA from raw milk cheese can reduce breast cancer cells by 90%. Natural enzymes such as lactase and proteases are particularly valuable as they aid digestion and reduce inflammation. These enzymes are destroyed by pasteurization but remain in raw milk cheese and can combat chronic inflammation, a major trigger for cancer. Cancer-fighting dairy product number 2, kefir made from grass-fed milk, the probiotic cancer fighter. Traditional kefir, made from the milk of grass-fed cows, is a real powerhouse against cancer. The complex symbiosis of over 60 different probiotic bacteria and yeasts makes kefir one of the most powerful immune-boosting foods in the world. Dr. Farhad Malekshahi of Tehran University conducted groundbreaking studies on the cancer-fighting effects of kefir. His research showed that kefir polysaccharides can directly attack cancer cells without harming healthy cells. Kefir acts like natural chemotherapy, but without the side effects, he explains. A long-term Russian study involving 40,000 participants in Caucasian regions where kefir is consumed daily showed remarkable results. The cancer rate was 84% lower than the Russian average. Stomach, colon, and breast cancer in particular were virtually non-existent. The secret lies in the kefir grains, which form a living culture of bacteria and yeast. These produce kefiron, a unique polysaccharide that modulates immune function and can induce cancer cells to self-destruct, apoptosis. Cancer-protective dairy product number 3, natural sheep's cheese. Mediterranean protection. Genuine sheep's cheese from traditional production contains unique fatty acid patterns and bioactive peptides that have powerful cancer-protective properties. Sheep's milk is naturally richer in antioxidants and contains fewer allergenic proteins than cow's milk. A Greek study of 2,300 participants showed that people who regularly consume traditional sheep's cheese have a 34% lower risk of colon cancer. The researchers attributed this to the high concentration of sphingolipids, compounds that can fight cancer cells. Sheep's milk contains natural antimicrobial peptides that not only kill harmful bacteria, but also train the immune system. An Italian study showed that these peptides are even effective against antibiotic-resistant bacteria while strengthening the body's own cancer defenses. Cancer-protective dairy product number 4, organic yogurt without additives, pure healing power. Real organic yogurt without sugar or artificial additives, made from milk from pasture-raised cows, is rich in cancer-fighting probiotics. The bacterial strains Lactobacillus bulgaricus and Streptococcus thermophilus have been shown to modulate the immune system and reduce cancer risks. A comprehensive meta-analysis of 45 studies showed that regular consumption of natural yogurt reduces the risk of colon cancer by 12%. In women, the risk of breast cancer was reduced by 15%. The protective effect was only evident in unsweetened probiotic yogurts. The live cultures produce short-chain fatty acids such as butyrate, which have a direct cancer protective effect. These substances can repair damaged intestinal cells and reduce inflammation that can lead to cancer. Cancer-protective dairy product number 5, traditionally produced buttermilk. The forgotten healer. Real buttermilk, which is produced during traditional butter production, is rich in bioactive proteins and phospholipids that have cancer-protective properties. It contains sphingomyelin and other lipids that can fight cancer cells. A Scandinavian study showed that people who regularly drink traditional buttermilk have a 28% lower risk of stomach cancer. The protective proteins can strengthen the stomach lining and protect against cancer-causing bacteria such as Helicobacter pylori. Your path to cancer protective dairy products. The decision is in your hands. Every choice you make in the refrigerated section can affect your health. Avoid industrial, highly processed dairy products with artificial additives. Instead, choose traditionally produced natural alternatives. Look for organic quality and origin. Buy directly from farmers or organic stores that guarantee transparent production processes. Read labels carefully and avoid products with long ingredient lists. Start the transition gradually. Replace one industrial dairy product at a time with healthy alternatives. Your body will feel the difference, and your immune system will be strengthened. The science is clear. The right dairy products can save lives. The wrong ones can destroy them. You now have the knowledge to make the right choices. Have you had your own experiences with dairy products? Have you noticed any improvements after switching to natural products? Share your story in the comments with our Clarivital community. If this video has helped you understand the truth about dairy products and cancer, then like and share it with your loved ones. This information could save lives. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on the bell. At Clarivital, we reveal life-saving truths every week that could revolutionize your health. You have been warned. You have been informed. Now it's up to you to take action. Your health and your life depend on the decisions you make today.